Good morning. Welcome to your card of the day for Saturday the 15th and Sunday the 16th of February. Our card of the day today is Poppy. So, Poppy. In Greek mythology, the poppy was created by the goddess Demeter to grant herself restful sleep after the loss of her daughter Persephone. Now, the poppy does have a reputation for granting repose. It's respite from pain. But its relationship with death makes it the perfect plant for us to meditate on, to address our feelings of grief and regret. Now when we look at this card, there's actually a skull there amongst the poppies, which is really interesting because 11 years ago I painted a painting for Anzac Day, which was a skull with poppies growing out of it. Anyway, grief, grief is not only something tied up with when we lose a loved one. It doesn't have to only be when we lose a loved one, because our lives are full of lots of small losses and not so small losses. You know, it could be the end of a relationship. It could be the end of small freedoms. It could be the end of a job that you love, the loss of an animal. Even when we move home, there is a grief about the leaving of the home that we had. So all of these little griefs can build up, and they can create a barrier that stops us from moving forward, can kind of make us stuck and prevent us from creating new connections. Because when we're stuck in our grief, when we're, different word from stuck, when we're heavy in our grief, it can really hold us back from making the connections that can bring joy into our lives. And the interesting thing is that sometimes it's the little griefs that hit us the hardest, because the bigger griefs are something we can't really face, and the little griefs come along and the big griefs come out. The number of people who I've spoken to have said, you know, it wasn't this bad when I lost my grandmother, but when I lost my dog. You're not just grieving your dog, you're grieving your grandmother as well. It's interesting how when we lose something, the old griefs all come back. So it doesn't matter how small or how old these unresolved feelings around our grief are. Today is a good day to take them out and have a look at them. Enjoy the better memories. And then after you've done that, after you've been present with your feelings, you can move forward. because you'll be free of any of the negative feelings that might be holding you back from making new connections, from finding new points of connection to joy. The poppy itself is more of a numbing effect really than a, well, under its influence one can definitely feel in a good space, but it numbs everything. It numbs everything, and then when it comes out, when you're not numb anymore, it comes out and you still have to face it. It's the trouble with anything that numbs our feelings. Anything that numbs us, when the numbing wears off, you still got to face it. So yeah, today is a good day for those of you on a Saturday, those of us on our Sunday. It's a good day to just bring out some of those memories. Go through your photo album, or really look at some of those maybe smaller losses. And some of the small ones, some of the big ones. Losing a job is a really big one. And once there's a little bit of distance in it, things like that, you can look back and say, well, actually that might have been really hard at the time, but I can let it go now because I'm in a better place now than I was before I lost that job, that whatever. And if you're not in a better place yet, then this card, the poppy card, is suggesting that maybe today is the day to start making those new connections with joy. That's it. Thank you. Well, thank you for joining me. And I'll say good night. Have a blessed day. And I'll see you tomorrow morning. Good night.